What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Ripken Show. As you might have guessed, I am not Ryan Ripken. Ryan will be joining us in just a few moments, but I am not alone. I do have my main man, Zach Bondra, here with us as well. What's up, man? How's it going? It was a great weekend for baseball, especially if you're a Baltimore Orioles fan. Unbelievable series, and man, just like the pitching in general has been on absolute fire, and that's what I'm really pumped up about. Not just starting pitching, but the bullpen looks great as well. Overall take on the weekend.
I mean, how sweep can it be? 7 days ago, the sky was falling in Birdland. Lose 2 of 3 to the Oakland Athletics. Will this team ever win another game? Will they win another series? What's going to happen? How do they respond? They take 3 of 4 against the Yankees. Then they go to Cincinnati. A lot of people are saying, man, we even talked to them. We talked to guys over at Chatterbox in Cincinnati, Locked On Reds. They said, hey, Orioles are getting the Reds at the right time. If there's going to be a time to capitalize, it's right now. And what do the Orioles do? Go into Cincinnati, get 3 wins, sweep them. That's exactly what you wanted to see from this group. And, man, like you said, talk about some underrated guys. The pitching to start, but then just the guys, the everyday, the lunch pail guys coming through and really making a difference this series.
Yeah, man. It's funny how everybody wants to get rid of Jorge Mateo, and then he hits 2 home runs in 1 week, and then you got Makeda doing the same thing. So it's like and we talk about this all the time that there's a reason why Brandon Hyde and Mike Elias are holding off on those prospects. Yes, could they potentially be starters somewhere else? Of course they can, but the guys like Mateo and Urias and McKenna, even I can't tell you how much slander we got or we saw from the Brian McKenna hate group. It just was crazy. And then all he did this entire weekend was produce. So it's almost as kind of like every time they doubt the coaching, every time they doubt Mike Elias, they just prove them wrong with weekends such as this.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that we've talked about on this show is that it's not just talent. It's the ability to mentally overcome things and mentally thrive in your situation. And that's why you see guys like Ryan McKenna and Jorge Mateo getting these opportunities because they have no issue. They have no issue sitting on the bench for 4 straight days. But the second their number is called, whether it be to come off the bench late in a game, whether it to be a spot start, they're proving that, hey, we are still productive major league players that can come off the bench in the blink of an eye and make stuff happen. Jorge Mateo, we've said it from the beginning, his speed and athleticism alone makes him a special talent. I'll tell you this, when Jorge Mateo is hitting the way Jorge Mateo is right now, we saw it in April of last year. You're starting to see it again. He's one of the top players, one of the top shortstops in all of baseball. You can't teach the talent that he has.
Yeah, and just going back to the pitching real quick, it's funny that the Reds guys, when we talked to Locked On Reds and Chatterbox, them saying that, that we were going to get them at the right time. But I'll tell you what, man, Reds pitching actually was pretty damn good. It was just that the Orioles pitching was just that much better, and the bats were just that much better up until today, of course. But I mean, there was, and really, bats were kind of quiet for the most part until later parts of today too. So it wasn't like it was these were blowouts, games as far as the sweep's concerned. Yeah, they won all 3 of them, which is great. But up until the last couple innings today, it was pretty close overall because the Reds do have some good pitching there.
Yeah, Reds, and that's what we were told pretty much the entire time by the Reds media was, hey, the offense can't do anything right now, but man, is that pitching there. And that's what we saw. It was a Reds team that couldn't score runs, but that pitching refused to keep them out of games. And they almost stole a game last night. We saw late in the game, they get winning run on second base in the 9th inning. This team, the Reds, they were able to, their pitching did exactly what they were hoping to do. They kept them in ball games, gave them a chance. But, man, you got to tip your cap to the Orioles pitching because Orioles starting pitchers did not give up a single solitary run during this entire series. Every single one of them went over 5 innings. Just absolutely beautiful by the Orioles there.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get into that, because I want to talk about starting pitching up next, but we got Jonathan with the $10 donation, Santander with the grand salami and the broomstick. Yes, slam tander came out, and we're going to get into pitching in just a second, but I did want to share this. If you guys didn't see it towards the end of the game, Santander was in a rut, and today he went 3 for 4, and then at the end of the game with 2 outs left in the ninth, he just does this. And it was just like, and it was a no doubter. This was, typical Santander, typical Tony Taters, just crushing that ball. So it was really good to see him back too.
Yeah. All right. So I do have to, I will call myself out, and I'm one of those people where I am in such a love-hate relationship with Anthony Santander. It is every time he's one of those players you live with the 2 weeks that he's the greatest player of all time, and then he's going to have those times where for 2 weeks he can't hit anything. And I was actually with friends and family, and I was like, Tony, he's not doing anything right now. I was like, when he breaks out, he's going to be a top player in the game. But I was like, right now, I was like, he's in that slump part. What does he do? Like you said, 3 for 4 today, the grand slam. If we start seeing that Tony Taters that goes out there and is a top power hitter in the game when he goes on those 2-3 week streaks, I'm telling you, man, with this offense, Tony can carry you to 5-6 wins in a week by himself. So if the Orioles are going to there have been some guys that have been cold. Adley Rutschman's one of the hottest players on earth, but when Anthony Santander is going, there's not much that can stop him.
100%. And, it almost kind of reminds me of like if I had to compare to somebody, it was almost like a Chris Davis, where you just, when he starts to hit dingers, it's like he can't stop. And then all of a sudden he gets into that slump. But that's why we keep guys like Tony around, just because when they're hot, they're hot. What is Kevin talking about, by the way? Wasn't invited to hop in this one.
Kevin, you were literally Kevin, hop in. Just hop in.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I said everybody. Chat,
yeah.
We put in the chat, who is hopping? Kevin, hop in this. Hop in this.
Yeah.
Oh,
what are
my
you doing?
Gosh.
Houston also donated. Appreciate you, Houston. Jorge Mateo, only Brad's blow dry is faster. That might be true. That might be true.
I can't.
And then C Money with the donate too, calling to say Tony T, silly chickens.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I did. You know what, C Money? I got to be honest with you. I was one of them. I thought I'm not going to say in the fact of I wanted to sit him long term. Obviously, it's not something you can do with the Tony Taters, but I thought a game or two would help him. I think he said a few days ago, but I will say, man, that is when he's hot, you can't send him. I do want Victoria. Zach was okay. I do have to talk about the eye. Okay. I just got ointment for it. I don't know what happened. I woke up yesterday with this. I'm not even going to lie. The person in urgent care, things you never want to hear a doctor say. I will say this, things you never want to. She walked in and goes, "Oh, wow. I've never seen this before." She said she's never seen it before. And I was like, wow. Okay. And then she asked me if I got punched. She asked me if I got punched.
Well, but you've had this sty for like the last 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it just that developing into whatever it is now?
Yeah. And now this is on the downtrend of it. But I was like, this is a crazy downtrend because they keep saying it's the downtrend. And I'm like, this seems like an escalation, actually. I was like, I don't know if I would call this the downtrend. But yeah, no, I did not get into any cool fight scenes or anything. That unfortunately, this was just I woke up. I didn't even notice it. I don't feel anything. It's not like it hurts or anything.
I was going to say, I was going to ask if it was painful.
No. So actually, the funniest thing is I was driving to the gym and I pulled into the gym parking lot and I looked in the rearview mirror as I was getting out and I was like, what happened to my face? And then that's when I realized that I was like, man, I think I might have to walk around with this.
The comments rolling in are hilarious.
I don't even have. Thank you, Les B-roll. I don't even have a cool you should see the other guy's story. Like I woke up one morning and this was just here. No, my vision is not weird, Tori. The doctor actually asked that as well. I can see there was some. When I woke up, it looked a lot worse than this. Thank God. So we're making progress. I think Kevin just joined. Okay, but yeah, Kevin.
Maybe not. We'll wait for him to get himself figured out. All right, so I will hopefully Ryan's supposed to be coming on. I think he said he was going to try to make. He was the train that he was on took forever to get here, so they had to go straight to the studio for Fox with Rocco. So we'll wait for him to come back. I got some good questions for Ryan too. But look, man, the starting pitching in this series, Cole Irvin, John Means, Gene Kramer, they all shoved. Really, the impressive one for me was John Means. I mean, he could have. I understand why they pulled him yesterday after the 6th inning. He only needed 6 more outs to go to pitch that complete game. And honestly, I thought he could have done it. I tweeted out as much. I was like, I understand why all the bullshit reasons to pull John Means today specifically. It was his first time out. He had 85 pitches, ending the 6th inning, which was incredible. He went 1 inning only throwing 6 pitches, which was crazy. 7 punch outs. So he was just the John Means of old, and he really could have pitched that complete game. It would have been awesome to see it, but I understand why.
Yeah, that's the thing is I was with you, Brad. I voiced my opinion as well. I thought I was totally in the camp. I understand it's John Means' first time being back in the major. I believe over 240 days. But man, if you want to talk about a guy who was just wheeling and dealing,
this right
John
here.
Means
So,
is not getting top.
Yeah, where did I just see it? Yeah, the changeup. Yeah, the changeup was just absolutely disgusting the whole game. Spot on, Tom. I mean, just Means if we got a healthy Means, a Kyle Bradish, Corbin Burns now is he's still the ace, but I mean, there's a lot of guys now in the rotation. If they can all stay healthy, and if Grayson comes back, and pitches like he has been, it's going to be a real dangerous. I mean, let me just put it this way, guys. Even with, you take today out of it, even with, the bats kind of being on the downside, I don't want to say slumping because it wasn't really slumping because they're still just mashing home runs, but the run differential is plus 55. Imagine what that looks like in the middle of the summer if this pitching rotation stays the same and actually starts to improve when we get guys like Grayson back. It's just going to be incredible.
Yeah, and I want to point out that I think every year when he's obviously missed time recently, you forget about it. I don't think there's someone I enjoy on earth watching pitch more than John Means. I don't think there's a single pitch I like watching more than John Means' changeup. It just – the ability John Means has, he does not throw gas. He's not someone who's going to go up there and throw 97 at your up and in. He's going to throw the nastiest changeup you've ever seen while you were sitting fastball. And he made Ellie De La Cruz look like he had never swung a baseball bat before on some of these. And Ellie's probably, if Ellie's not winning a NL MVP, if the voting stopped today, I don't know who is. And he was going out there and making him look foolish. John Means, you talked about it, came back and showed, I'm still an ace-type pitcher. Obviously, we want to see that a little bit more over more than just one start, but what a hell of a start. Then you also have Kyle Bradish, looked incredible. Yeah. One of the best, as good as it could get. Cole Irvin, the man just refuses. He saw the spots in the rotation dwindling, and he said, you're dragging me out of this rotation over my dead body because he refuses to stop pitching gems. Every time Cole Irvin's on the mound, we just got up.
Oh my God. There he is. Got the broom.
There he is. Sweep him out, Kevin. Sweep him out.
Jonathan with another $1.99. Appreciate you, my man. And then we also have C Money. I mean, the donations continue to roll. That's $20. I'm standing up for that. Thanks so much.
me, Mike. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Way to stand up, Kevin.
Thank you.
He says I 100% owe means an apology. He was hitting spots and was just nasty command. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Reds did to John Means, but he was dealing for sure. Another donation from Johnson said, do we have a shot at the new MLB home run record?
Aren't there 8 guys with 5 homers or more this year now? Is that true?
With Santander, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I do want to talk about that for a second. What the Orioles are doing power-wise offensively is not normal. Like, I want people to understand. And, like, a lot of people tried to put one of the downsides to the Orioles over the past few years of when they were developing was guys like Adley hadn't shown this power. You had guys that they felt like were not going to be able to – were a little too one-dimensional. They weren't going to be able to create the long ball, go score themselves. And, man, are they proving guys wrong. Adley Rutschman's swing from the right side right now is probably the prettiest thing in all of Major League Baseball. I love watching that. Ryan Mountcastle is starting to get it going. He got the double today. He was kind of slumping a little bit. But the power that this team has shown from start to finish this year is absolutely incredible.
It really is, man. And Kevin, I'll let you get in just a second to kind of give your thoughts. But, like, it just – we were waiting for the stars to kind of align. I'm a little nervous that it's starting this early because that's what it kind of feels like, with taking 3 out of 4 from the Yankees, who are arguably, the second best team in the AL. And then, maybe the Guardians could be in that conversation too. But nevertheless, the Yankees are for real. And then, just sweeping the Reds with some really good pitching, by the way. So it wasn't an easy sweep by any means, by any means at all. So, it just feels like there is a lot of good things happening. And the one thing that I want to just be cautiously optimistic is what I'll say, is that it's happening so early in the season. I would much rather see this kind of gameplay like, August, September, after we've already kind of guaranteed our spot in the playoffs. But nevertheless, I'm enjoying this moment. I want to make that clear. Nick K, also donated $1.99. Appreciate you, Nick.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Nick.
And might as well bring this up too. So with all the support that's been coming in, and D Porter now has donated another $5. Really appreciate that.
Thank you. We're rolling in right now.
So I want to D Porter. So I did not realize this is actually one of the White Star Sales is like one of the companies my dad is part of. And I did not realize that White Star was apparently like the Titanic. Like, because I get asked that all the time about this hat, as if it was part of the Titanic. I did not know that, but no, unfortunately, it's not.
We have to. All right, we'll clap it up.
Yeah,
and then we have to bring in these two. And you're not getting one more person in this StreamYard. You're getting 2.
Oh, there it is. There's too many people producing the show at the same time. What's up, fellas?
What's up, guys?
Hey, you can really see that we're not the same height, if anyone was wondering. We are friends, though.
Don't touch me. I'm not your friend.
Hey, how we doing, guys? We feeling good?
Yeah, bro. The donations just keep rolling in. Manny.
Hold this for me for a second.
Must be nice.
Appreciate you, Manny.
What a sicko.
Brian, get what your initial thoughts on the sweep, man.
Well, that's a great thought here. Well, first off, if I'm just being honest, this team just doesn't have it. I think if we saw that when they lost that series to the A's, how would they bounce back? Clearly, in a resounding, terrible fashion, they've won the last 6 or 7 games, continue to dominate the starting staff. Well, the starting staff was pretty good, right, Rock?
No, I think they need some work. I think much to be improved on. Don't think the last 5 starts for the starting rotation anything to write home about. It's team needs work, man.
Yeah. So essentially what we're paraphrasing the real thoughts here, you can't judge a team by a month, and you can't judge a team by what happens in a series. You win games, you win series, you avoid getting swept, and that's the motto, and the team's very damn good. And the fact that everybody in the Orioles lineup except Jorge Mateo reached base today, Ryan McKenna You're building the statue as we speak. I already called the Orioles. They're on it. But above all, like, this is why these veteran players are here. They adjust well, and this is a really damn good team. And yeah, Jordan Westberg's pretty damn good, and Anthony Santander is completely fine. The amount of people, get off your tippy toes. The amount of people that actually said that Tony Taters, there's a problem with him. I don't have a problem with the guy if he's off to a slow start. And a guy that's hit 30 jacks the last 2 seasons combined or averaging, feeling pretty good about him. And I think he made an exclamation point on the Red Series. I mean, Rock, team's fired.
It's gotta be tough to lead all of Major League Baseball in total home runs. Stop putting it that close to my face. Anyway, but I'm just saying, it's like, as a fan base, it has to be tough just like watching this team out there just every night and just knowing that they're leading Major League Baseball with 50+ homers. They're on a historic pace right now. 307 is the number to beat. The Twins and Braves, they both did that. They're tied for that lead. I'm telling you what, man, if the Orioles keep mashing like this, they're going to be right on their track. So it's crazy to think about what this team can accomplish with how hot their bats are right now. And this is the beginning. They're leading at the American League record-wise. They're currently tied with the Phils. I know the Phils play tonight for the best record in all of Major League Baseball. Like, the O's are in a great place right now, and Grayson Rodriguez isn't even up with the club, and that's the scary part about it. So crazy.
You know what?
Even
It's
like,
it's funny
wow.
you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that because, like, you know, as good as the Orioles are playing, there's still some good baseball being played out there. I don't know if you guys saw that the Dodgers swept the Braves, and Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, one of them for 464 feet. So the Orioles need to continue to be good in order to compete with a lot of these guys, because there's a ton of talent out there. And so it is going to be a lot of fun going into the dog days of summer and definitely into the end of the season. But it's really exciting to see them playing like this. And I'd be really curious to see what happens when they go up against the Dodgers or the Guardians or you know, even the Braves, even though they got swept. It's pretty fun to see.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Hey guys, so we got to go do work here. Dad's got to go help his son get something done.
Ryan, I have an important question for you.
What?
Are the Orioles fine?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay.
Check the tweet. It's out.
Okay.
Those are fine.
Okay.
Yeah. We will be back though. I'll check in. Take care of your guys.
Oh wait, Ryan, you got to stay for a second.
Oh God.
Oh,
Thank you, Don.
Hold that.
Clap. You can't air clap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hold that.
No, the other way.
Oh, how do I do that?
No,
No, just turn the camera.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
Guys, we appreciate everyone in the community. Oh, there goes the All right. I will check back with you. Rocco and I are going to go work.
You coming back?
Yeah, we'll come back. You guys going to be on?
working too over here.
Yeah,
We're working too.
We'll be here.
Sure.
We'll be here.
Kevin, I hope the cats are well. We'll talk soon.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are gonna have to wait till Monday for that one. Okay, so yeah, Don, you're incredible. I did want to make sure that we're not forgetting.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of them.
a couple of other donates. If we forgot you, I'm so sorry, but there was like so many of them rolling in.
Yeah,
I think Jonathan gave us another one. Glad my birds are coming to DC for 2 nights.
I think everyone up to Pocket Watch we haven't gotten to yet. It's just
C Money, Bats paid back.
Thank you, C Money.
And then yes, thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, it's just, and you guys just
we got a couple others. We got
Jonathan's had several of them.
Jonathan, you're the man. And will Cowser hold on to the current lead for Rookie of the Year? I'm not sure. It's very early, but I think he's definitely going to be up there. I know he's slumping right now. We saw the double today. I think he's going to get a swing back, and he's going to be up there when it's all said and done.
Yeah, well, and wasn't it like 109 miles off the bat?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he definitely it was not a cheap shot. That's for damn sure.
No.
Yeah. So he mashed that ball. And honestly, Cowser's been mashing the ball anyway. It's just that it's been going straight to ball players instead of the green grass. So I'm not worried about Cowser. It's one of those things, man. It's just baseball. You know, he's making contact. It's just he's just hitting him straight to short, straight to second, wherever. But not worried about Cowser at all. So I think there's a strong case that could be made for him as far as Rookie of the Year. And honestly, I mean, we'll see. But there could be a couple of Orioles that could be in the running for that. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. But Manny, Was that another donation from Manny? Appreciate you. Says
back
Suarez
up,
would be
yeah.
awesome in long relief. Yes. So, and honestly, when and you can ask the boys this, Manny, but I think I was the first one in our little group that mentioned that I was super pumped that Suarez was going into the bullpen just because he did so well. He's so dominant as a starter. Obviously sometimes you'll see starters that go in the bullpen and they struggle a little bit. So I'm hoping that's not the case for Suarez. I think my hope is that he does be that good long relief in the Orioles bullpen that honestly has been desperately needed, especially with some of the series we saw and the bullpen comes in. We saw that with the Angels series. Dean threw a gem and then the bullpen kind of let it go. So Suarez continues to throw his stuff and have the stuff that he had as a starter. I'm super pumped for him to be in the bullpen. Pocket Watch says, just want to say I love the live reaction shows. Thank you. And thank you, Pocket
Watch. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're the man,
Actually,
or woman, whoever that might be.
And then I won't bring this up because I also want to talk about Nick K.
Thank you, Nick.
Appreciate you. So I want to talk about this. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on Kimbrel. So let's talk about Craig Kimbrel. I think it's just one of those issues right now where he is as electrifying as it gets when he's on.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been showing this year that back-to-back days are not his friend, especially right now. We saw this with the Phillies last year. When he gets worn out, you start to see the fatigue. You start to see him not hitting the strike zone as well. But I think that's a situation where last night I would have preferred a Yennier Cano start the game just solely because you knew Kimbrel. I was shocked, honestly, when Kimbrel was warming up just because Kimbrel was coming off an injury and it felt like they were just going to try to slowly let him back in. And I think maybe the Orioles are looking back thinking that's probably the way they should have done it. But at the end of the day, you still get the win either way. Am I ecstatic? Am I saying Kimbrel's, the top closer in the league? No. Do I think he's an issue? No. Not right now. I'm not going to sit here and say that Craig Kimbrel is going to be bad. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all comparing him to Felix Bautista, and that's such an unfair comparison because of just how dominant Felix was.
Well, here's what I'll say to that. I have concern, especially because of the injury. As you had mentioned, they are using him a lot. He's 8 for 12 in saves, which isn't good, and it's May 5th. What's Kimbrel going to look like in in August, September, if this is the Kimbrel that we're getting right now? My hope is that, he gets healthier and whatever, but it is concerning to see that he's having these struggles and then also dealing with injury this early in the season. And the O's continue to use him. I don't know what that looks like when we get into those dog days of summer.
Yeah, and for me too, it's we had Yoni on and he was talking about with Kyle Bradish. It's going out there and when is it gonna be better? And for some injuries, and every injury is different, every player is different, everybody responds differently to injuries. But it's if this is kind of a lingering thing for the rest of the season or for a couple of months, I mean, obviously the back-to-back thing just can't be happening. I mean, he's not at that point in his career right now, especially with the injury going on. But I think you just have to manage him the right way. Where Zach mentioned it, he's still a guy that can go out there and be shut down. But with the injury, I think it lowers the margin for error, essentially, where you have to be able to put him in a situation where he feels good enough to pitch. And if that's pitching him a little bit less than you anticipated, we talked about it. They're trying to fill the Bautista role. They're trying to do it in a bunch of different ways. When they signed Kimbrel, they weren't trying to 1-for-1 replace Bautista. You can't replace Bautista 1-for-1. But you were trying to see, can Kimbrel get some stuff here? What are they going to do about Cano? Can he be a guy? So for me, yes, there's definitely concern. The concern with me lies about how long is this injury going to linger? Because if it's all right, he can rest a little bit, and during those rest days, it truly gets better, and then he pitches and it doesn't do anything crazy and it continues to heal, then okay. By the time maybe a month rolls around, 2 months, then maybe he's feeling a lot better. But if pitching kind of, I don't even know what to say, gets rid of all the progress that resting gives you, then it's going to be there for the rest of the season. And it's something he's going to have to learn to pitch through. But as we've seen, I think that recently it's really been impacting him.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, this is a guy that, and I saw someone up here say it, he's not a back-to-back guy anymore. He's not someone that you can send out there 3 out of 5 days, 2 out of 2 days, and expect to get 2 solid outings. I think those days are behind him just simply because of age. But if you're going to have a rested Kimbrel, like you said, Kevin, when he's rested, he can be a top guy. But you were never not trading, but you were never replacing 1-for-1 Kimbrel for Felix Bautista, because Bautista, what he did is just dominating. Yeah, Fado's fan. He's not Zach Britton, that's for sure. You know, we've kind of been spoiled with these unreal closers over the years, and it's really nice when you have them, but that's not something that's necessarily always going to be there. Do I think he is still the closer? Yeah, I do. I think when he's available, when he's rested, he gets the first shot, but that doesn't mean that should be every time there's a 3-run or less ball game for a save opportunity. That doesn't mean Craig Kimbrel needs to be the one going out there.
And Mandy with the donate, appreciate that. And the limitation does suck for the playoffs. Not gonna sugarcoat that, right? Like, but here's what I'll say, and I think there's no doubt in my mind that that Hyde's thinking about this, and so is Elias. But my opinion is that we're gonna see another pitcher come out of the bullpen to kind of assist in that closing role. I mean, I think if Suarez would have closed out today's game, that would have been 4 different pitchers. That in 4 different save situations, and the last 4 save situations with a save. Hyde just pulled out Suarez to put in Mike Baumann, but if Suarez would have closed that out, that'd have been 4 pitchers in the last 4 save attempts, 4 different pitchers. So my point is that I think that there's a lot of options here. If by some chance Kimbrel either just can't perform or is injured in some way, so I don't think there's really anything to worry about there either. There's plenty of options, especially as we get closer to the trade deadline and getting into the All-Star break, but a little bit early to make that call just yet. And Nick here with another donate. Appreciate you, Nick. Asking why not Cano because they paid Kimbrel? No, I don't think that's it. I think it's just you brought on Kimbrel because he's the closer and he's the best guy for that particular situation. And so there's a reason you brought him in and you want to use him for that. I think that they're starting to figure out how to use him moving forward because he has changed. He's not the same guy that he was 4 or 5 years ago.
If we're having this conversation in a month or two, I think then it becomes, okay, do you have to move some pieces around and figure some things out with him? Because maybe it's just, the role could change. But again, we're a little over a month into the season. Yeah, sure. It hasn't been great, right? He's had some bad blown save opportunities, bad opportunities where he hasn't been able to shut the door, but you're hoping, and luckily the Orioles in a position right now where they're still winning despite some of these things. I mean, Cano was able to shut the door, right? He was able to do it. So even though Kimbrel, it almost didn't go well, it almost was bad, but they ended up getting the job done there. So obviously during the blown saves, he gives up a couple of wins here and there. But if we're having this conversation and let's say June 5th, right? And the injury doesn't look like it's getting better. He's still blowing opportunities. Then I think the organization will be like, okay, there's been a leash here. It's not working. There are other options that we can go to. So I think that's another thing. And I do want to clear something up here. Joe, I appreciate, sorry. No. It's not my birthday, Joe. There was something that was put out to Holy Shirts and Pants members. We'll talk about it on tomorrow's show, I think, more in depth.
Yes.
But I had a day today. It was it was an electric day. I'll call it an electric day. And it was a party.
Call it whatever you want, Kevin. Call it whatever you want.
It was a party, baby.
Oh yeah. So we will talk about it on tomorrow's show. My birthday's in January, actually, but I did attend a birthday party. It was not my birthday party, but we will we'll get to that more on tomorrow's show. So look, I got some early birthday wishes. I'm definitely all for that. But Brad, what was the comment you brought up about?
C Money with another $5 donation. I don't know what this guy does, but he just loves to throw money at us, and I appreciate the hell out of that. Elephant in the room, Mike Baumann. What are we doing? That's a really great question, and here's what I'll say. Mike Baumann's a really good friend of the show. I know Mike Baumann personally. Zach does as well. So, and Ryan's obviously super close with Mike, and he said as such on the show. So I want to be careful about what I say about this, because it's concerning. It sucks, right? I think that there is, when you see Mike go up there today, and 9 of the first 10 pitches are balls, and you got a 4-pitch walk, and a lot of the were missed on fastballs, and there's a couple cutters in there as well that didn't do well. But Mike's just trying to figure things out, and I think that the staff, the coaching staff in general, also is trying to help Mike figure that out, which is why they put him in when the Orioles were up 11-0. And so, I think that they're still high on Mike Baumann. In my opinion, Mike's got the best fastball in the entire squad. There's nobody that can throw a better fastball when the stuff is on. Right now, I think Mike's just struggling with his command, and that seemed pretty obvious today. I'm not saying anything that nobody else knows, but he does have electric stuff, says Joe, and there's no doubt about that. He is out of options, so that's what gives me a little bit concerned for Mike as a friend, as personally. But at the same time, and it wouldn't be so much of a concern for me if the pitching wasn't so on fire right now. And it's just kind of like, well, Mike's still there. But it could be good and bad. The way that I see it, the way I'd like to see it, is that the pitching's doing so well that coaching staff is letting Mike figure things out. And I think that that's going to continue. I don't know what the timeline is. I can't tell you what the timeline is. Maybe we can give our best guesses on that, but I don't like doing that. My thought is that, and I would love to get Ryan's take on this, because I know he'll have much better insight than I will. But my thoughts in particular are that, we're just going to still have to wait and see. Mike obviously is struggling. That's not up for debate. But whether or not he's going to get sent down, I think it's just too early to tell.
Yeah, and I think that's what we've talked about. The most frustrating part about watching Mike, and especially during his struggles, is because you see the highs. You see when his fastball is clicking and people can't touch him. And you're out there and you're watching how his fastball can help set up his off-speed stuff, and he's fooling people. He's adding a cutter to help get some movement to the opposite side of the strike zone from away from his, I believe, his slider. Rips talked about, and he's adding pitches, trying to become a better pitcher, but at the same time, he's struggling. Like you said, Brad, it's hard to sugarcoat it. He's not pitching well, and in a lot of ways, you can point and say he's the one that you would be worried about in the bullpen in a big situation. But it is something where the electricity factor, the factor of when you watch him and he does get on, and that's why we defend him so much, is it is something. If he went out there and never showed any signs of life, if he was just hanging every single pitch, we wouldn't be able to sit here and defend him. But man, when he's on, when he's controlling his fastball, when he has full move, we've seen a few people in here talk about in the chat, it's all about, either mindset or control, because man, when he's got it going on, he's dominant. He can be a guy, we've seen him walk in big situations. I think people forget that. He's come in massive situations, bases loaded, 2 outs against the Royals. I believe the tying run on second, and he gets out of it in 2 pitches. And he's had these moments where you're like, this is what we're talking about. This is where the Mike Baumann we know can go out there and be a very good pitcher in this league. I do think him having more clear role would help, but we're not going to sugarcoat it. It's not been going as he would want it right now.
Right, exactly. And there's a couple of comments here that I also wanted to address from regards to Mike. So he says, it seems like Gingerbread Beard says, by the way, channel member, and I actually pinned the link in the chat as well, guys. But if you see the join button next to subscribe, you can also become a channel member. You can become one of Rip's good kids, or be a part of the Holy Shirts and Pants, which, by the way, we just announced that there's a special guest coming in tomorrow. That is an Orioles player. Might be on the pitching staff. Might be. We're just throwing it out there. But if you really wanted to know who it was, you should join the channel members. We have all kinds of other good stuff in there as well. We're getting ready to do an exclusive live stream with our folks over there. And it just helps support the channel. We just crossed over 100 channel memberships, which, by the way, hats off to all you guys. Incredible.
Appreciate you guys.
Can't wait to get to 1,000. That's going to be awesome. But listen, Mike Gingerbeard here says he seems like a good guy, but as soon as they have a replacement, he will probably pass through waivers. Here's one thing that I will say. If the Orioles decide to DFA Mike Baumann, somebody will pick him up. He's not going to he's not going to pass through waivers. No chance that happens because he is that good. And, sometimes I would hate to see this happen, just because selfishly I wouldn't continue to see him on the Orioles. But if that happens, I think that there's oftentimes where you see change of scenery is good for a player. Not saying that that's going to be the case for Mike, but if that happens, I think he's going to be just fine wherever he ends up. And I still think that it's going to be here.
Yeah. And I think too, just with Baumann quickly, sports can be such a mental game. Like there's such a mental aspect that I think people underrate a lot of the time. And we've all admitted it. Brad, you said it. Zach, you said it. It hasn't been great for Mike so far this year, but you see the electricity and you see all the stuff, but then he gets in a situation and it doesn't go well. And maybe it's a big situation. And he's like, oh shoot, well that didn't go well. Let's just flush it, move on to the next one. And then, maybe he has a couple good at bats and another one, and that's great. But then it struggles again. And then he's like, oh shoot. And then again, oh shoot, didn't do well. And then he's like, all right, maybe not a big situation. Comes in, that doesn't go well. It's like, oh, well, maybe comes in an 11-run game. Oh, well, that didn't go. So it's about him trying to find his groove. The Orioles trying to help him find his groove. There are going to be conversations, I'm sure, about, look, once Grayson comes back, once Tyler Wells comes back, who are those pitchers? I'm not saying it's going to be Mike. I'm not saying it's going to be any other pitcher. That's a conversation we'll have to have a little bit later when certain circumstances happen. But I do think for Mike, it's probably a lot of mental stuff right now of having so many outings this year where it just hasn't gone his way, or there have been a lot of things. So look, the Orioles have to do what they have to do to win ball games, get the players on the team that give them a shot to win and give them the best chance. And I think Mike, when he's on, does that. I think we've seen Mike when he's on do that. Like it's not a question of ability, right? Because we've seen it.
Right. And there's a couple of comments here that Sylvester says that he's barely on. Look, it's May 5th. And I understand like there's some frustration from certain fans. You are more than welcome to have that opinion, but this is a guy that was 10-1 last year. So I'm not really understanding. This is a guy that was 10-1. We're not just defending him because we know the guy. Brandon says he ain't fooling him. Look, the thing of it is, there's going to be a lot of people that eat their words if Mike Baumann decides to turn it on second half of the season. And we've seen that. We've seen that a lot, not just from Mike, but from plenty of other guys as well. So not ready to throw in the towel on Mike Baumann.
No, and it is one of those things where you, as an Orioles fan, you simply hope he puts it together. But as you also said, Brad, it could be that something of a change of scenery down the line. Whether, like we said, I hope it doesn't happen, but he's got the stuff. He's got the velocity. We've seen Jared Carabas has come on the show and talked about it. Jeff Passan has come on the show and talked about it. Buster Olney's talked about it. Tim Kirchin's talked about it with us. Velocity gets people paid right now, and Mike can pump it up there with the best of them. And when he controls it, and when he's got control of it, he can dominate. And people are going to see that radar gun. As much as we like to use the eye test and all that stuff, MLB teams use the radar gun as much as anyone to try to find these hidden gems. And I think someone's going to have themselves a big hidden gem in Mike Baumann if he decides to – if the Orioles move on. But, yeah, it is tough. Like you said, Brad, it sucks when he seems to be the only guy on the pitching staff right now, unfortunately, that isn't dominant, because the starters been dominant in every outing. Here come the relievers pulling their weight, so it really just sucks.
Yeah. And I think, too, the Orioles are mostly winning despite Mike's struggles this year. I know he's put him in a couple tough spots, has lost them, this and that. But the Orioles still, we talk about they just swept Cincinnati. You'd rather have the Orioles winning despite some players struggling than consistently having them be the sole reason or be a reason you lose. And the Orioles have done a lot more winning than losing so far this season. So I'm not defending, the struggles and the appearances and all that. I think we can all be objective here and say it hasn't been great. Yep. But the talent and the electrifying stuff is a reason to say, hey, you know what? Mike has a shot to turn it around. And if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the Orioles do, and this is what we were talking about. They have so much depth. Even if Mike wasn't struggling, there were going to be some tough decisions in this bullpen with how Alberto Suarez has performed and some of these other guys. We're going to have conversations because Grayson and Tyler Wells are not staying down. I mean, I would be shocked if Tyler did. So they're going to have to be some guys who either go down, get claimed off waivers, whatever, and we're going to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can move on from Mike here now, and we'll wait for Rip to come back and we'll get his thoughts if we can circle back on that. But I did want to move on. We can stick with pitching here. Today's Dean Kramer performance was absolutely incredible, as it has been. The interesting thing to me that I've seen with Dean, and they pulled him today after he started to see guys for the third time. If you guys caught on as to why that is the case, you see the statistic that the batting average when Dean sees guys for the third time in the lineup, it's 600. It's over 600 guys are batting on Dean Kramer after they see him for the third time, which is absolutely mind blowing to me. I don't know if I've ever seen a statistic like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Love Dean, and his stuff is ridiculous. He was dealing today, but it was interesting to see that they yanked him, and I have to believe that was probably one of the biggest reasons as to why. But guys are just teeing off on him the third time around.
Yeah, and you see that with a lot of pitchers, is that definitely that third time through the order is where you start to see guys, especially batters, start squaring up balls. It's your third opportunity. You see a guy, you see the movement, you see the velo, you're really starting to time guys up. But, man, it's usually guys start hopping up to the hitting 300s on you type deal. Hitting 600 on you the third time around is definitely not ideal. So that's definitely, like you said, Brad, that's why they're getting him out early, even when you look at the pitch count at times and you're like, he could go through this. He could get another inning. He's shown right now that you definitely don't want him seeing the order a third time. But I do want to bring up that over his last 3 starts, he's only given up 4 runs over, quick math, 18 1/3 innings pitched. So if you're going to do that, he's got a 1.96 ERA over the last 2 games. You take that as your 5, as your number 5. There are teams that are begging for that from their number 2, their number 1. He's their number 5, putting up those type of numbers. It's an incredible situation for the Orioles to be in. Yep. And it just feels like we've talked about this a few times, and it's that tone set by Corbin Burnes. He went out there game 1 of the year and struck out 11. He had a dominant performance. Grayson goes out the next game and does just slightly worse than him, and Corbin starts chirping him. And they've developed this competitiveness that they've talked about in the rotation where they each want to be the best. They each want to go and outperform the guy that was before them. And when they're all pitching like this, it becomes also not only am I competing against the other team, is I want to be the best person in this rotation. They see that as this friendly competition, push each other to the next levels each and every time. And I think that's only going to continue to grow as this season, continues. I've seen some people say that this is just a stretch that the Orioles are hitting. I think this is what the Orioles rotation can be. I think this is the talent. When you look back over the last 20, I believe it's 22, 23 starts at this point, Dean Kramer has a lower ERA than Grayson Rodriguez. So we want to talk about that. And that's not knocking Grayson. That's saying we all know how great Grayson has been so far. Dean is going stride for stride with these guys.
This rotation, too, has been incredible. This is actually a tweet courtesy of Ryan Ripken, show recurring guest Rocco DeSangro. So shout out to Rocco, though he made me do the math. So not shout out to Rocco for that. But the Orioles' last go-around on the rotation, so Burnes, Bradish, Irvin, Means, and Kramer, he got 23 innings between those 5 guys, 3 earned runs total with 29 strikeouts. I mean, it was a heck of a week for this rotation. And we've seen all these guys dominate. I mean, Burnes has been dominant for practically the whole season. Bradish coming back and giving a really encouraging start coming off of his injury. And then we've talked about Cole Irvin and how good he's been. And that transformation, Means coming back. I mean, talk about encouraging. John Means was wheeling and dealing out there. And obviously we talked
Unbelievable.
about Kramer today. So obviously when Rodriguez gets back, he doing Grayson Rodriguez things. This rotation is, I think it's starting to find its stride. Not to mention, obviously, we talked about the bullpen a little bit, but the bullpen has been on fire too over the past couple of games here. So the pitching staff, I know the offense has been a bit streaky here and there, but the pitching staff's really getting the job done.
Yeah, Joe, shout out Joe. Shout out Joe. So, Joe has also sent us a very special package from on behalf of Joe, which we're going to share tomorrow too, which is pretty awesome. Shout out Joe. He's just the OG, one of the OGs. But he says, who gets Cy Young for April? It's got to be Corbin Burns for me. And I don't even think it's close. I mean, I think he is undefeated in April. I think he's the only Orioles pitcher to be undefeated in April. So no question that's who that guy is. But in May, might be a different story with the way that the starting rotation shaping up. Next order of business, guys. What do you got? Where do you want to go next?
We didn't do a full deep dive on Tony Taters yet, did we?
We did not.
I think that's a place to start for now, right?
I was going to go Adley, and we can. So let's do Tony Taters right now, and then we can go Adley next, because some of the stats that Adley has had over the last 15 games are absolutely insane. So, look, Tony Taters, Anthony Santander is career average batting average is 247 right now in 2024. He's batting just 218, but the day he was 3 for 4 and hit the old grand salami late in the game and top of the ninth with 2 outs, bases are loaded, and he just hits one out. So really good to see Anthony Santander do that. Zach and I talked about it briefly before you came on, Kevin, but go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about no one is going to be on a hot streak for an entire season. It doesn't happen, especially in baseball. Guys are going to go through ups and downs, and I know for Tony Taters, it was a little rough. It was a little rough for Tony, but these are the types of moments where he has proven over the course of his Orioles tenure here that he will get it going. I know the whole pop-up thing. I get that it's been happening and all the struggles he's been going through, but it doesn't have to be Tony every single day. It's like it doesn't have to be Gunnar every day. It doesn't have to be Adley, although it kind of has been Adley every day, honestly. But it doesn't have to be those guys, because the Orioles lineup, they can afford to have guys go through some stretches where they struggle and they're not hitting and they're not quote unquote themselves. And then you go have moments like that where, sure, the grand slam by Tony Taters in the 9th there, did that decide the game? No, it was decided before then, but it was nice to see Tony get a hold of one, and it's big for confidence, right? So I talked about how sports is a mental game, and sometimes guys just get into slumps, and it's not so much as, oh, this is great pitching and I can't hit a ball because my talent was sapped from me. It was, oh, well, all right, I'm in my head a little bit. I'm not hitting the ball well. I might not be seeing the ball well. So I think it was a big thing for Tony to have the game he had and just figure things out, because he's a big part of the Orioles' success, and he's someone that is going to be big for them down the stretch, assuming that he can continue to get it going here.
Yeah, I'm on record. I've been a bunch of times. I think Anthony Santander is just as streaky as they get. I see a few comments about this. Yeah, he is probably right here. Tom, nail on the head. Now he'll just carry the offense for week or two. It's true.
Yep.
Now we've gotten past the, what was it, 1.5 for 38, something like that. We're past that. Now we're on the point of him carrying the team, I believe. But, man, I'm not going to go against anyone that says they're frustrated when Tony's not producing, because Tony is as hot as they come, and then he is as cold as they get. And it's nothing against him. I think he's the best power-hitting switch hitter in all of Major League Baseball. That's not something you can argue. Go check the stats over the last 3 years. It's the point of when he's not having anywhere close to competitive at-bats during these streaks of he's missing, he's just not playing well. That's what gets to me every single time. I understand that sometimes I'm too tough on him, because I still believe that I was on this was way back in the 21, 22 years. I thought trading Tony was our best chance just to get prospects back. Now, at this point, you can't get rid of Tony because, like we've said, when he's hot, he'll carry a team. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he doesn't. Hand up. When he's not hot, he is the most frustrating player on this team because you just feel like he's always up in the big moment. And you're like, okay, here's his breakout. And then the pop-ups come, the swinging at balls that are just nowhere close. It's frustrating, man.
Yeah.
That's as frustrating as it gets. He'll go the one pitch pop-ups in big moments they get to me as much as anything. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to take Tony the downs. You have to understand the downsides for all these moments where hopefully now we see that week or two where Tony can do nothing but hit taters.
Yeah, we got Jonathan in with more donations to stay healthy and starting pitching and dominate like the Braves of the 90s. I think there's definitely some truth to that. Yeah, let's go ahead and I think there's definitely some truth to that. But we'll have to wait and see. It's too early to make that call, but I think there's certainly a possibility. There was one other comment that I saw that I was going to bring up, and now I kind of lost it. But yeah, let's get on to Adley. So Adley Rutschman, gents, rough start to the year, right? But the last 15 games, he's hit 3 home runs. He's batting .354, and is just on absolute fire. He's it's so incredible because I'm not saying that Gunnar is in a slump, but he's cooled off, right? And so he cools off, and then you see other guys kind of picking up any sort of slack. And that's the awesome part about what we're seeing here. And Adley Rutschman has certainly done that. Again, not saying that Gunnar's in any sort of slump, but we saw that struggle with some of the pitching that from the Reds this particular series. So, but because of that, you see other guys like Mateo and McKenna and Adley freaking Rutschman picking it up, which is just incredible. And by the way, we didn't even talk about this, but that snow cone catch from Gunnar yesterday was
incredible.
Probably one of the best plays I've seen all year, aside from Seti catching that ball out in center field.
Yeah, crazy. And Adley too, I believe, if I did my math right, he has a hit in 16 of the last 17 games, at least one, obviously, in the last 16 of the last 17. He's been on fire. And a guy you mentioned it, Brad, had some early struggles, here and there. It was a little cold. But again, as I talked about, doesn't have to be Adley every single day now. Kind of has been based off how well he's playing. But guys pick up other guys in this lineup where really not a lot of teams have the luxury the Orioles do right now, which is you can have a couple of your top guys go through a mini week slump or a mini week and a half thing. But then you have other guys, like you mentioned, the M&Ms, right? The Mateo, the McKenna, all these guys who are like, oh, there's no way this guy's going to come up and hit up. There it goes. Oh, McKenna, he's not going to do it. There it goes. So this team, I mean, they play for each other. We know that already. They love each other. But it goes beyond that to where they're just really good baseball players. Like they're just really good. And I'm not saying that, every player has to be on at the same time, because if that was the case, the Orioles would probably score 15 runs a game. But
that would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, look, if they want to do it, I'm not going to complain. But enough guys do it every single night where, despite some of the streakiness we've seen from the offense here and there, we know that when at least part of the lineup, good half of the lineup is on, they're going to be scoring a good amount of runs.
Yeah. So I've seen the stats. I've heard the counterpoints. I've seen the names. I get all of that. I understand it. At this moment, you cannot look me in the eyes. I know I only got one good eye right now. You cannot look me in the eye and tell me Adley Rutschman is not the best catcher in baseball. I've seen the stats. I've seen the counterpoints. I've seen but Will Smith this, but whoever. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. There's one man who every single time he goes out there, he's hitting, like you said, 16 of 17 games. He's putting up runs. He's controlling a pitching staff. This pitching staff ain't just pitching this way because they're out there throwing vibes. It's give McCann credit too. McCann and Rutschman are calling incredible games. And when you put everything that he's giving this team together, there's no argument. Adley Rutschman is the best catcher in baseball.
Yeah, for sure. C Money throwing in more money. Is that why he's called C Money? Because he just throws money at the Ryan.
Zach, I'm disappointed. You haven't talked about Westberg yet. You didn't say the line.
Well, I was just waiting. I mean, if we're going to talk Jordan Westberg, let's talk some Jordan Westberg, because let's talk about a guy who, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter if it's pouring down rain, it doesn't matter if it's 80 and sunny. When that number 11 is called, he's going to simply produce, because all he does is produce. He walks up there and he's just he's a walking production. I don't even know if that's a thing, but he's a walking production. He goes out musical. There. Yeah. And here's the thing. He doesn't make the flashy plays in the field, but my God, does he make every single routine play look what it is, routine. He goes out there, you see it 106 miles an hour line or ground ball, line drive off the bat. Westbrook just eats it, gets it across the first. What he does in the field, playing third base and second base, doesn't even really have a home out there. And then every single time he comes up to the plate, it feels like if it's a big moment or a small moment, he's going to go out there and, man, is he going to produce?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Couple of things that I also want to bring up that weren't necessarily series related, and Timothy just put this up. So Nick Markakis getting voted into Orioles Hall of Fame was dope. That'll be a cool ceremony game in August. And I think we're trying to get in Nick's camp to try to have him on the show. So be on the lookout for that. If you are in the Holy Shirts and Pants Club, you'll be able to find that out before anybody else. So make sure you're hopping in there. But yeah, that would be really cool. I remember when Nick first got called up. Zach, you were 4 years old, but it was a cool experience for me to see him get called up and just light the world on fire. So it was cool. Well deserved for Nick Markakis.
Well, now I want to know what the experience is like for you, Zach.
Yeah, the experience was incredible when Nick was called up. I was drinking a lot of orange juice back then and apple juice. So yeah. We're getting to
I still drink apple juice.
As Zach was peeing.
Apple juice is elite, Kevin.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Apple juice, pineapple juice, and grape juice. Those are the big three.
We got to put that in a poll.
Pineapple juice, I'm not going to give you.
No pineapple juice? Oh, man.
I'm a huge cranberry juice guy.
Yeah, cranberry juice elite.
Tart, like the super tart bread?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm putting
not a lot of people like grape juice seems to be the one that people don't agree with me the most on.
I'm 50-50 on that. Like, I will never go and purchase grape juice. But I got a lemonade is without a doubt. Yeah, that's on there.
That's not juice. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a different, I feel like, category at some point.
Yeah. What other juices are there? I wish there was like watermelon juice,
grapefruit juice.
There is. I mean, like, you can get water.
Well, actually, I recently just discovered strawberry, pineapple, orange juice, and it's really good.
Okay, I could see that being really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Can we wait? I just quick update from. So, did the Orioles season end after they lost 2 of 3 from the A's? Because I was told that we should stop watching these games.
It did. It ended.
Yeah, I hope. You know what's funny is there probably are people who stopped watching for a few games after that. They're like, "Well, look,
I understand. Sports is very reactionary, and it can be. Look, the Nuggets lost Game 1 to the Timberwolves last night, and I was in shambles. Like,
oh no, that series is over. Did you not hear?
Literally, yeah, I'm like, all right, and it's you start to cope with things. You're like, all right, well, it's not all. Sports is reactionary for everybody in any sport. People go about things differently, right? Some people are very much okay. Let's move on to the next one. Other people I tend as well for a little bit. Like I can relate to people who say, oh well, I screw this, I hate this, or I'm not watching. I'll watch, but I'm just like I kind of have to cope with. Oh well, this has to go this way and this has to go that way. To me though, anytime it's so early in a year, you kind of have to I try to at least put things in perspective where the Orioles are a good enough team where even if they lose some of those games, and look, what's the A's record? Aren't they above 500?
They were
17
yeah,
and 17,
they're
I think.
At or above 500, whatever they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they're 17 and 17, like I think people were expecting them to have the White Sox record or near the White Sox record at this point. So losing to the A's the way they were playing, look, I'm not trying to draw up excuses or say that the Orioles weren't the better team. Well, they weren't the better team in those games, but the Orioles should have beaten the A's. But to me, it would have been a much bigger conversation if they had gotten swept by the White Sox, let's say, or lost 2 or 3 to the White Sox. Like that would have been a bigger conversation. These teams,
which the Rays did. The Rays did while we lost.
I was gonna say Gavin Sheets and the Fighting Sheets are 5-5 in the last 10 games.
Man, yeah, I don't know.
They're just figuring it out. It's don't call it a comeback. They're 8-20. Yeah. They're 8-26.
They're gonna get the 1 seed. That I don't know what the odds are on that to win the Central, but I don't know, Zach. You might want to. That might have better odds than Justice Hill 3 touchdowns.
And honestly, it might. I actually saw something earlier. It was I don't know if you guys follow him, Jay Kuda. I think that's how you say it, Kuda. He's probably the funniest follow on Twitter just for baseball. He gives the wildest just stats about everything, and it was something like if the White Sox win out, they can go like whatever it would be, like 148-26, and he was like, which would absolutely destroy the all-time current wins record. So the White Sox, we don't know. They still could. They're still alive to destroy the all-time wins record. We might be about to witness the greatest run of all time, and we just don't know. So don't count out the White Sox. The Fighting Gavin Sheets.
Fighting Gavin Sheets. That's right. Yeah. Lots of juice takes coming in here. Kelly says you people sleep on grape juice.
That's what I'm saying.
I do. I
see the grape juice comments. We got a lot of grape juice comments.
I didn't put apple juice in the poll because there just wasn't enough options because I want to make sure that Kevin got his pineapple juice in there. But I did put grape, orange, pineapple, cranberry. So far, 51% of the vote is orange juice. I feel like that's just a cop out.
That's just a classic. Like
I should not have even put orange juice in there, but I could have replaced orange juice with apple, I guess.
Well, let's do a poll within the poll for you guys. Pulp or no pulp in the orange juice?
Ooh,
I don't care. I don't like. That's not something that gets me going or doesn't. Like I'll do either.
Yeah. I don't know. What about
you? Are so a no pulp.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's no way you would have gone if you were a pulp guy.
Was that the only reason you figured, or was there something else? Just me is what you figured?
Well, like that, but yeah. I'm just not someone who gets pulp. Like that's not like if it has pulp, like okay. If it doesn't, I'm fine either.
I don't know. I do like to chew on my orange juice. Just give me all the pulp.
Can you even chew on the pulp? You can't chew. Well, I guess it gets.
It's a euphemism, Kevin.
Yeah.
Jeez.
No.
You know what? I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you didn't say some dumb shit like you like prune juice.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
that would be such a Kevin comment.
To me, I never could get behind the V8 or the vegetable juices. I could never do it personally. I don't know if you guys ever drank any of that stuff, but I could never get behind the vegetable carrot juice, tomato juice, any of that. I couldn't do it.
This is very interesting. The comments that are coming in on pulp and the orange juice. With pulp, no pulp, please. No pulp. Are you kidding?
I feel like it's very hit or miss. I feel like it
definitely is.
Yeah.
So I did put up that new poll right now. It's 66% say no pulp.
Yeah, let's go. Also, I just lost it here. Lettuce asking, is there something floating in the fish tank behind me? It is the fish, which is alive. It is not dead. It's alive. It just likes to float up there. So
someone squirted lemon juice in Zach's eye.
I actually love so I have lime juice just in my refrigerator that I put in my water 24/7.
Oh,
Big
I
lime
would put lemon juice in my water.
Yeah, like that lemon and lime juice both are just fantastic.
I feel like for me, like even with like the Mio, like the droplet, like the drop stuff, it's too sad. Like I'd rather just drink juice.
Yeah, I don't like the fake shit.
Yeah.
It's got to have real sugar in it, or I'm just getting lemon juice.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Quick story about Mio. Did not realize how much caffeine was in a Mio Go, like a Mio Energy Go, and it's a lot. Like it is not a safe amount to be in that easily squirtable thing. I think I like split it like almost 2/3 of it at one point in college,
God.
and like yeah, like it was just it was for a Borg. If you know what a Borg is, you understand. But yeah, all of a sudden halfway through, like, or I guess the whole way through, we're like, how much caffeine is in this? Like, we are really jittery. I probably consumed like in that like hour and a half, 2 hours that it took to drink the Borg, like 800 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
Like it was not good. It's like 1,000 milligrams in that thing. I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt some dumb college kid making a Borg out of it.
Also, I agree with Tori on this. I think I've said this before, but milk has to be flavored.
You have said this before.
Yeah,
You
like
say
like
this a lot.
the vanilla flavored milk. Yes, vanilla flavored milk is like the chef's chocolate flavored milk. Actually, I had cinnamon banana milk, and that was not good. That one was not good. But yes, regular milk I don't like.
You're a good kid, but you're a weird kid. Nick, with a $10 donation. This is insane. This is insane.
Thank you.
The Orioles just need to sweep every series so that we can just continue to get the donations flowing in here. Nick K, appreciate you, man. It says, keep it up, fellas. You make my workday go by quick. Enjoy your Sunday night. Let's go. O's 23-11, best team in the AL. PS would have swept the A's if we didn't go out of the house to get a closer. Yeah, we've talked about that too.
Possibly.
All right. Anything else we want to chat about, fellas?
Are we waiting on Ryan to get back in here? We don't know when he's done.
He said he was coming back in, so I don't know. Let me text him.
All right.
Yeah,
well, luckily,
yes.
I don't know. I was hoping I was going to come up with something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see if Ryan has anything else to add. But yeah, what a win! Just what a sweep. Personally, for me, this felt awesome because going to school in Huntington, West Virginia, a lot of people were Reds fans, and I've been able to give a whole lot of shit talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Over the past.
Yeah. Actually, here, if we want something to talk about, let's talk about this a little bit.
Oh yeah, the pasture. That is the 14th, I believe, Tuesday, the 14th. Jason, if you are in here, put something in the comments to confirm that. But yeah, I bought my tickets. I don't know who else is going. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, but it seems like it's been getting a lot of traction. Jason Bowens did a great job setting that up. But talk about something that's going to be a time. I will be there in my Cal suit, cheering on the Orioles as they take on whoever they take on.
I think it's the Blue Jays. It's Toronto, I think.
That is the Blue Jays. Yeah.
Oh, then we're so seeing at least a Mountie home run. Okay, that's big. That's cool.
Oh, that's another topic also. People are concerned about the Mountie knee. Up. There we go.
What?
The what?
You were moving the camera. I didn't know where the camera
I did it on purpose because the Cal suit, the Alex Rodriguez Cal suit is over there, and I was trying to see.
Yeah, Zach, you're gonna have to take it off the bear.
I know. I gotta finally get that back from the bear. Get it back in blood.
Yeah, hold on. I'll move it. Okay. That way we can.
All right, thank you.
I saw there was concern about Mountie's knee. What's your take on that?
Oh, about the sore knee or what? I don't think it's. I'm not concerned. I think if anything, it's a day off type thing. It's not anything that I've been. Especially with an off day coming up, like tomorrow, I'm not concerned at all. Do I think it might be potentially bothering him? Maybe, but we're getting to the point where everyone is going to get banged up here and there. It hasn't been playing the best recently, but it's definitely not something that I'm sitting here going, okay, this is going to be a major issue.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the same boat. Like, obviously, you got to monitor it, but I'm not thinking it's huge.
What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
it's
Mountcastle's knee.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't worry about that.
Also,
Yeah, that's just
Jason
something.
is here.
Oh, there's
more fun announcements coming tomorrow.
Oh, Jason is watching. There you go. More fun announcements.
Oh, look, it's Rocco.
It's Rocco. And then there's the Cowser suit.
There's the Cowser suit. The cow suit on the bear.
Brad, you got a party going on in there.
I do have a party going on. It's you know, it gets a little lonely in here when you're by yourself. This is a 1,300 square foot box. When you're by yourself, it
really is.
You just got to play jam and distract yourself.
And it's creepy, by the way.
When no one's there.
Because it's not just that no one's here in this specific room. No one's here, especially on a Sunday night. Nobody's here in the entire building.
Yeah. That is so true.
Well, I hope no one comes in the door.
Well, it's like Fort Knox here, so nobody's coming in.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is. We have to go down to get you, Kevin. I don't know how.
I know. Zach and I have been timing it up pretty well recently. Right as he gets there, I get to the door.
It's like
we've been doing it really well.
There's been a couple people that have figured out where we're at. I'm like, all right, well, good luck getting in here if that's what you're trying to do.
Well, I think with Jim, we literally said, hey.
Yeah, Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer did kind of. If you're going to get docs though for your studio location, at least let it be one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
Right.
What are we going to do at that point?
Right.
You see, Brad?
What's that? Oh. Yeah, it's probably the TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's the TV right there too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I did see a comment. I gotta find it. Where is it? There are so many milk comments. I can't find the guy. Here we go. Tides updates. This is something I've wanted to talk about for a long time, and I think we're gonna do it more with Ryan probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
But Jackson has been struggling a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah. So I had a stat. I can't remember who put out the stat, but I believe at the time it was put out. Jackson.
He's batting 5 of 26 right now?
Yeah, it might be 5 of 27 now. Let me look. Here we go. So before his call up, Jackson went 14 for 42. And he had 7 extra base hits and 9 RBIs. Then he got called up, and with the Orioles, the major league club, 2 for 34, so 0.59, 0 base hits, 1 RBI. And then post option after he got sent back down, 5 for 27 it is now, so 185, 3 extra base hits and 3 RBIs. So obviously we know Jackson is a lot more talented than the major league club and his post option numbers show. I don't know if it's just him settling back into the groove of being down there, if there was some mental thing with getting called up and struggling, then going back down and having that mental hurdle to get over. I don't know what it is. Obviously, he stormed through every single level of the minors, and his call up, one of the fastest in MLB history, guys, for a number one prospect. I mean, not a lot of experience just in the Orioles organization. So these slumps are gonna happen, but if I had to take a guess, and obviously I'm interested to hear what Ryan's thoughts on the whole thing are, I would imagine it's just him trying to get over that mental thing and settling back down into AAA. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it.
They made adjustments to his swing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not something I'm worried about at all. Actually, it's something that I see as more of a welcomed thing. It's more welcome than I think others are going to lead it on to be. You hate to see a guy struggling, but they're going down there and they're tweaking things in his swing. They want to make him quicker to the ball, maybe take down a little bit of the leg kick. And if he's been doing that for however long, it's going to take some time to adjust. So you're starting to see him get more hits. He's getting on base. But at first he looks different. I've seen a few things where maybe his stance has changed a little bit, get him a little more closed out of the gate, stuff like that. I'm not worried at all. I think, honestly, it's better that he's down there struggling and trying to put it more together that they believe will allow him to have more success when he gets back up to the majors, when I think it's still going to be in a month or so. I don't think he's down there for long. I think they let him go through this. He's going to get through this slump. Like you said, a lot of it might still be mental. A lot of it still could be in the sense that he's out there and he doesn't necessarily feel like himself. He may be a little down on himself, whatever it may be. But I can tell he's starting to get it going again. And so I'm not concerned at all. I think it's good that he's going down there and struggling while he's trying to figure some things out.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it either. Sorry, just real quick, Brad. Just to me, there's a lot of pressure on Jackson too, and pressure is something that you gotta learn to deal with. I mean, and for Jackson, obviously with him, he's so talented. But remember, guys, when he got called up initially, there were all the comments in this chat on social media. Oh, he's gonna be better than Gunnar. He's gonna be better than Adley. And look, that's a lot to put on a 20-year-old who at that point had never swung a bat at the MLB level before. He struggled in the major leagues. You know, we can all be objective and say that. But the fact that he's gone down and struggled again, it doesn't worry me. It doesn't. I mean, he's going to go through it. The staff there will get him right. I know it's a little discouraging, right? I think that's the word I'd probably use, discouraging, just based off of how he tore through the minors the first time. But everybody goes through slumps. Jackson is certainly going through it right now. But I if I had to bet on Jackson either getting it together or not, I'm betting on him putting it together.
Yeah, for sure. Zach, what were you laughing at?
Oh, well, I was Zach has the hair of a young dun.
I'm seeing these. I see like there must be a poll up, right?
There's a poll. There's a poll. There's a poll up about. So I saw a lot of people commenting about my hair, and so I was like, well, I might as well just throw this up there. That who asking who has the best hair on the show. Surprisingly, Kevin, it's a close race between you and I.
Is it? I thought you would have pulled away with this one.
Me too, but Zach has 7% of the vote. Which, listen, if you all saw Zach in that mullet. I don't know.
When I had my longer hair, it was definitely a lot closer. But now, yeah, I agree.
Somehow Rocco's got twice the amount of votes that you do at 15%. Kevin's got 37%. I got 41.
You didn't have Ryan as an option?
No, because he barely has any. So no. So here's the thing. Zach, turn your head around.
Yeah, I still got some lettuce. You know, it's not there it was before.
Well, now, Kevin, turn your head around. Yeah, that's what Kevin's head looks like every single day.
I have chronic bedhead. It's so bad. I wet it, right? I when I shower, the hair is wet. I comb it, and then when it dries, it literally just goes right back to where it was. I have no control over my hair. It's been that way my entire life.
You don't use but do you use product in your hair?
No, I don't. Yeah, I guess I could use gel and
you got not gel. That's not 1994. But yeah,
I could do this. I could slick it. Slick back. I could do that. I could slick it back.
Yeah, man. I don't have to get yourself a hair dryer. Is all I'm saying. See a couple people just commenting on that. This is an interesting question too. By the way, guys, Ryan will be back. Ryan and Rock are coming back in about 2 minutes. So just hang tight. And by the way, also congrats to you guys for watching. Thanks for. I mean, I had low expectations. I thought once everybody figured that Ryan wasn't going to be here, that they were going to jet. But there's 171 of you guys still hanging in here, so that's pretty awesome. We also had 284 peak concurrence here today. So that was pretty awesome. So thanks for sticking around with us. So if you guys want to get more insights from Ryan and Rocco as well, make sure you're sticking around. Again, like I said, about 2 minutes, they'll be back in here. But I thought this was an interesting question by Bear Arms. Manny was, not this one. God damn it. That was terrible. That was a terrible quote. This one, C Money donated in. So I wanted to make sure that we got it on that one. C Money said, we let Machado go. Gunnar or Manny, which one would you giving a long-term deal after the rookie deal? Look, it's hard for me to say because I already knew that Manny Machado wasn't going to stay in Baltimore. Period.
Yeah.
Just couldn't afford him. That was the and under the Angelos ownership. There was just, even if the Angeloses had the money to pay Manny Machado, they just didn't have it. Now, though, I think obviously it would be a different story. It's really tough because Manny Machado is an all-star every single year. Gunnar Henderson is going to be an all-star every single year. So it's too early for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm hands down taking Gunnar Henderson because Manny Machado has been so good for so long. So I don't know, man. That's a really tough question for me. And honestly, even though Manny can be a little short-tempered, I still love Manny. He's still one of my favorite players. One of my favorite Orioles of all time. So it's a tough question. I probably, if money wasn't an issue and I was the owner that had a ton of money at my disposal, I definitely would have extended Machado hands down without question.
Yeah, this one's tough. I'm going to say Gunnar solely because of, and it's not necessarily talent wise, because like you said, Brad, Manny Machado is still, all these years later, one of the best players in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
He has been for over 10 years now. But I'm going to go Gunnar solely because I think the window of this team is so big. I don't think signing Manny Machado to a contract extension back then would have impacted this at all. Now, if we're saying add 23-year-old Manny Machado to this team, we're talking whole different things. Then I think it's a lot closer. But right now, if we're talking about just because of where the window for this team is and how long I think it is, I think extending Gunnar for that whole time just ups your opportunity to win multiple World Series championships.
Yeah, it's just circumstances, right? I mean, Brad, you kind of exactly touched on it too about just like the ownership wasn't giving out that deal there, but that doesn't mean that Manny didn't deserve it. Doesn't mean they didn't deserve that extension. But to me, I think for Gunnar, this is a guy where we're scratching the surface, and to me, saying scratching the surface on a guy that's putting up the numbers he's putting up and making the plays he's making. I mean, it's hard not to kind of look at that, even though Manny was so awesome during his time here. I'll probably lean Gunnar here, even though it is close. I think because Manny has been gone for so long, some people do kind of forget the full picture of just how good he was for that prolonged amount of time. But to me,
I think is.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But to me, I think Gunnar, I have to go Gunnar for me personally.
This is an interesting thought too that I saw MLB Network put out, and I'll share this real quick. And Ryan is also back, so we'll let him in. But and this would be a good question for him too. I said AL East, but MLB came out and said which division could put together the best combined lineup. You know, the more I thought about this, the NL West could also be a bit insane, but I still stand by this. Best division in baseball is AL East. Can you imagine Gunnar, Rutschman, Soto, Judge, Rosarina, and Vlad Jr. all in the same lineup? Like who's better than that? I mean, first two innings, it's gonna be an awfully long day for whoever's pitching against those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be AL East or NL West. Obviously, the NL West, just because of how top heavy each team is. It's not necessarily the AL East. If you go top to bottom of every team, it's unmatched. You know, no one's ever going to be able to touch. But the NL West has just got stupid. Like the top 2 or 3 guys on each team are just out of this world. So, know, maybe if you're combining full division, maybe the NL West has them. But if you talk about every single aspect of who's the deeper division, it's without a doubt the AL East. But maybe the NL West that would just be an insane game to watch. The NL West versus the AL East. That would be throw the All-Star game out the window. Just make it that.
Right.
Yeah, 100% agree with that one.
Yeah. All right. Fearless leader Ryan Ripken is back.
We're back. Yeah, so my charging cord is not long enough, so I'm currently on one knee next to the only outlet that actually plugs in properly here. So stay hot, baby.
That's dedication.
Things going well, it seems like.
Yeah, we had a lot of polls actually.
Yeah, a lot of polls.
A lot of opinions about grape juice and milk and who has the best hair. Unfortunately, Ryan, Brad left you off of that poll. He told us so.
You know what? My hair looks great for what I have. You know, that's all I can.
There's only 4 options, so I just went with the 4 guys that had the most.
Yeah,
Rocco's got more than me.
Yeah, I think so.
That's bold.
If it makes you feel better, Rocco actually like made a weird run. He was he finished third, I think.
Yeah, he did.
He finished ahead of me.
Yeah, I finished ahead of Zach.
Who won?
I did.
Yeah.
I put up a good fight.
It was a tight race between Kevin and I gotta say, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, I think I lost it on the head turn. Honestly, I think that's where I lost
when
it.
you showed the bird's nest, that's when we were screwed. That's when you were screwed.
My chronic bedhead strikes again. I'll tell you.
Yeah, in the
luckily,
future,
you only got to be facing this way. But another sponsorship opportunity. If anybody has a cure for my chronic bedhead, I'll use it.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll work on that.
So Ryan, a couple of things that we talked about today that I think definitely deserves your attention. One of them, and C Money actually donated to the channel because he wanted us to answer this question honestly and basically asking about the elephant in the room, and that was Mike Baumann. And the general consensus between the three of us was that it's still too early, and it's actually a good time for Mike right now to kind of get himself right. There's no question that he's struggling right now, but the fact is that everyone's doing so well that the team, the staff still believes in him and are giving him opportunities to kind of get that command back together, get it under control. And it's one of those things where he's struggling right now, but much rather see him obviously turn it on later in the season.
I'm going to stand up for this one. Ooh, there we go. Okay. So how do I want to start with this? I think for a lot of reasons, a lot of people want immediate results. And I'm not going to sit here and say that things have been perfect. Things have gone the best, but you can see exactly why I'm always been bullish on him and why the Orioles really do believe in what Mike can do. His stuff when it's on can rival anybody on the team. His biggest thing is just being consistent with his outings and trying to get comfortable with what he's being asked to do. And there's a couple other things that he's specifically working on as well. But you saw what he did when he came in against New York and did that in multiple innings. It was super impressive, right? And then there's today where the control is a little bit lacking. The biggest thing for me is just being able to, when you get ahead, put the guys away. I'm different with this. If you get beat on a heater or you give up runs, I don't really care for relievers. You give up runs. I know that might sound crazy. The biggest thing for me is when you beat yourself. And that's just one thing at times for Mike. If he walks guys, just the consistency thing there. That's the biggest thing for me personally. But I do think that Mike is a guy that has all the abilities to be a complete game changer. He's just going to have to lock in. And right now, the Orioles are playing really well. But also, if I'm not mistaken, guys, a lot of people want to write off Jacob Webb, who's looked phenomenal the last week. A lot of people have wanted to write off Cole Irvin because of last year. Phenomenal the last few starts here. So all I do is seek patience for these guys. This team is 23-11. Am I doing the math right? Am I reading that right?
Yep.
It's pretty damn good. And it's not going to be perfect, but there's a lot of great pieces here that you have to really make a decision on what you want to do and with what you have. Because as soon as you make these decisions to change, you're not necessarily going to be able to take that back. And that's something here, I think for the Orioles case, they would regret some of the decisions if they were going to move too quickly with guys that I just mentioned, because you need to let that play out. Does that make sense? Do I sound like that somewhat making or articulating thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that there's a lot of people that are just ready to throw in the towel right now. And then obviously there's so much talent. And Ryan, you and I have talked about this too, just on a personal note. It's just one of those things where there is like this, and a lot of viewers have talked about it too, is like there is this pressure that's probably on this situation because the pitching's doing so well, that if there is room to be made, is there a situation in which you see Mike get DFA'd? And if that happens, he's going to get picked up somewhere else. Like there's no question that if by some chance, and we don't want to see that happen, but if Mike is no longer with the team, he's going to get picked up by somebody else pretty quickly.
Yeah. And again, I don't like to jump to all that. That's all. We'll see how it goes, but you're right. Talented players are always going to be in demand. That's just the reality. Talented players are going to be in demand, and guys are going to take chances and risks on players that they really love because the upside's undeniable. And there's things that you just got to stick with. And actually, I saw another thing, and if I'm seeing that wrong, I said someone asked about with Kimbrel, right? Kind of like, oh, what's going on with him? So Craig Kimbrel, I just wanted to touch on that for a second. Personally, I would have not wanted him to go back-to-back on the first days being back from pitching, because I do think that there's something else going on there with his fatigue. But when he's feeling good, shirts and pants, guys, the dude's nasty. But right now, with his age and what's going on, you kind of have to monitor what you're doing with what you have. And now back to the thing as a whole, as the team as a whole. Baseball players, I think if anything, what you've learned in 2023 to 2024 with the Orioles is, or with any team, do not write off people of what's happened in the past. Judge them on what they can possibly do moving forward and what's the appeal there and the value. So Cole Irvin's value through the roof. Oh gosh, it's a wild Rocco moving in. Yeah, the cord, the cord isn't long enough, dude, and so I have to sit down or on one knee.
Well, at least I'm taller than you now.
That's scary. He's barely taller too. That's scary.
That's honestly sad.
Yeah. Can I finish my thought?
I just wanted to ask real quick. It's an important thing. And can I ask a question?
Do
I need to raise my hand?
Do I need to mute this conversation?
No.
Okay.
Can Brad or Zach, if you didn't, can you send me the link for our potential guest?
Yes, I was already planning on doing that, but we had to go live first.
I just got to get it over to whoever I need to get it over to ASAP. That's why
I got you. We'll do it right after the stream.
Just make Zach do it. Zach, do your job for once in your life.
Yo, Rocco, get out of here. Get out of the screen.
Which, by the way, we actually did we gave some clues as to who might be our guest for tomorrow. We already let everybody know in the Holy Shirts and Pants crew who's going to be on the show, but it is a current Orioles player that might actually happen to pitch a little. That was the hints, but we did not give anything else away. So if you guys want to know who that is, make sure you're joining the Holy Shirts and Pants Club. Hit that join button next to subscribe or the link there that's in the chat as well. If you're watching on YouTube.
Sorry, my bad. If I pay someone, if Joe's in the chat, can they put him in timeout?
Also, by the way, I was
$20.
wrong. I was wrong on the poll. Kevin won the poll on who had the best hair on the show.
Okay.
Oh,
See that?
all right.
It's about the same hair.
Worse is look at mine. I have the baby hairs that stick up that I don't know what to do with them.
Rocco, you came in third.
Who came in second?
Brad.
I had better hair than Zach.
They didn't even put me on the damn thing.
You couldn't even be an option, honestly.
I wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Dude.
That's terrible. Do better. Anyway, all right. I got to get back to work.
Yeah, get out of
Love
here.
you guys. Love you guys.
About damn time.
Joe, if you're in there, I hate you. I'll drink on mine.
Okay.
Oh my God. It was his birthday.
Yeah, fuck you, Rocco.
Rocco to Santander. What were we talking about? We were always having good conversations before we get
It's always Rocco that messes it up.
Do you guys have when I dropped the phone? Was that audible? When I
Yes.
dropped the phone?
Oh, that's gonna make
That
a
was-
great. That's gonna make a great clip.
It is.
Oh,
that was
dude.
hilarious.
I was fumbling. Now I'm moving around the cabin a little bit. Now the phone's got 15%. Overall, though, what I was trying to say is don't write off players from their past. Look at what they can do in the future. And this has been a great example of the Baltimore Orioles here. If you're looking at the cast of guys that have been on their team, relievers that have come over and found second life, Perez, Cano, Cole Irvin coming together now. You're looking at Jacob Webb. You're looking at Jorge Mateo. You're looking at Ryan McKenna's statue being built at this current moment, stuff like that. All these players, they're professionals, and if they're around the right environment, things can change. Ryan O'Hearn's the best example. And you guys heard, for those that are listening here, how do you not want to root for Ryan O'Hearn?
Yeah.
And if you're going to judge him off of what he did in Kansas City, well, damn, then just get him off the team. He's not getting off the team. He's not going to get out of the lineup when righters are in there. We already know he's not going to be in there versus lefties, not because he doesn't want to. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So perspective. It's all about perspective here for the crowd out there, right, Kevin? I can see it in your eyes as you look down, not listening to a damn word I'm saying.
I'm trying to find a tweet that I want to read out. It's for content.
And for those who are tuning in, by the way, hit that like and subscribe button. We got a great team here, and I can't believe all of you are tuning in after for the game. We really appreciate it. I know the guys have said this probably thousands of times throughout this, but the community that we're trying to build is tremendous. We're going to keep expanding this past even with the Orioles, obviously, but the Orioles are caliente right now, hot in Spanish for those that need the translation. And we're really excited about where this is all going, including what we have upcoming and planned. Did we talk about Tuesday night, by the way?
Not yet. I'll let you actually talk about that. I did want to stress that there are 10 more subscribers that we need to get to 9,000. And if we could do that tonight, that would be great.
Ryan will take 9 tequila shots tonight.
You heard it here.
On Drinko de Mayo?
Drinko de Mayo.
See, it makes sense.
I might. I won't.
Now we only need 9.
There we go. 9
I've
subscribers.
been on that record for the wedding yesterday. We were pressing the envelope. But when you're in the sight of true love, weddings. Weddings.
I put what I want to put on the screen because I can't do it in show notes. We haven't talked about this yet, and we should.
Kevin, sound more disappointed with this.
No, it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing.
That was not fun. Kevin, let's try that again. I posted something in the group. I
posted something in the group, guys. You really want to see what it is? It's in the show notes. So be sure to put it on the screen so we can talk about how fun it is, guys.
There it is.
Was that better?
It's about how you act. I mean, come on. Like I can act like I like you guys, but obviously I hate you. But especially you.
There
Kevin.
we go, Ryan. Look at that.
Oh, I know someone said the hairline was bad from the early stages. And you know what? It was up there.
My hair was the same way. I was just as blonde at that age. I don't know what it is.
Zach, that's peak performance right there. You see that?
That's something. I wasn't going to say the hairline thing, but I did.
And Kevin, my hair having the bed hair looks like yours now, but I was 7 or 8.
Well, and the thing of it is too, like I know a lot of people like the first thing they like to say is that you look like Calvin. It's like, oh yeah, okay, no shit. But you look a lot like your mom too. I feel like there's a good mix between your mom and dad. I look, the eyes are not without question, but there's a lot of Kelly in old Rip.
Yeah, there really is. And shout out, Mama Rip, the llama. I don't know how her nickname got to that. That'll be for a different time. But yeah, I know definitely have the both parents genetics are crazy, right? So that's cool. But my phone, I had no idea. I was going through stuff with with all the wedding festivities, that the overload of photos about the rain delay. I think that's what Masson should play from now on. I know Keegan Aiken had his moment in the sun, and that was a hell of a moment there. The rain delay game, that everyone saw that moment. But I think the new one should just be Ryan Ripken highlights, getting ready for Cal's last game. Not actually his last game, just highlights. The Orioles are 1-0 when they play that. Just saying. So things to think of. And Kevin, thanks for sharing, man. That was beautiful. It's great.
What? Sharing the picture of you?
Pocket Watch.
Thank you.
Don't forget to smash the like button. Appreciate you.
Smash.
Zach, is it true you're getting a tattoo at 100K subs?
No, we're jumping out of a plane, Joe. Me and Rocco are jumping out of a plane at 100,000.
I might join you on that.
Yeah, but what about what do you get for getting a Ryan Ripken tattoo on your ass?
That's like
Rip on one cheek, Rip on one cheek, and Ken on the other.
That's a million. That's a million.
That's Kevin at 10,000.
No, it's not. No, it is not. What are we actually doing at 10,000? Do we know?
I don't know. We keep tossing ideas around, but
Kevin gets good on one and kids on the other.
I will. Okay, at 10,000, I will take 10 tequila shots.
No, Kevin.
No, we can't kill you. We can't kill you this soon.
I have a very good alcohol, or maybe I'll take like half tequila shots.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm still down to take a 80-mile-an-hour one to the ribs. I'll take a.
This
I'll
is
get hit by
good.
a
This
pitch.
one wins. This one wins. I love this.
I still say that like we should do something at in Aberdeen where we like try to see how many of us that Ryan can throw down from home plate or some shit.
Oh,
Or I could try to get my arm back in shape and see how many of you get a hit off me.
Yeah,
Haven't
that'll work
pitched in a
too.
while.
That'll work
how
too.
hard do you throw?
I don't know, Kevin. I haven't thrown in a while.
Well,
Probably not that hard, but enough to.
I'd probably.
I'm going to try to strike everyone out, but I'm telling you, Kevin, I'm having a ball right at your ribs. Just know that going into it.
I'm telling you,
five more.
first pitch, I'm poking it over the first baseman's head. I'm just going oppo.
yeah. I said, how fast can you pitch? And Ben says, Kevin, how fast can you duck? that's the real question.
That's true. We got 5 more to go.
Wow.
Is there not 5 people watching that aren't subscribed?
Oh gosh, that'd be great. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Get us that 5 more. Really appreciate it. Can't give away.
How about you do an impromptu Kevin Oki, and if I get it, everybody watching has to subscribe.
Well,
retweet this shit, Zach.
yeah.
Hold on. Oh, we got Charles making a commitment here. Look at this.
What is the commitment?
Oh,
Ryan
50K.
Ripken tattoo.
Found these. Hey now.
Uh-oh.
That's like a Bobby Shmurda's hat that just always finds its way back. It's his glasses.
Appreciate you, Fatos fan.
Thank you. I'm just in a room by myself here, just hanging out. But the room's not tacos, so it's all good.
We are 4 away, people. There've got to be 4 people watching that ain't subbed.
This is like the New Year's countdown.
I know.
4. See, I even put down a
3,
button here. We're feeling
2.
good.
Oh my god.
Feeling good.
1 button down for every sub.
No, Kevin. Well, that's after dark.
After dark. Exactly.
What else? So while we're doing that, maybe I'll take this time to talk about what we have coming up on Tuesday. How about that?
Good plan.
So we are doing our first live show at the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races, and it's a great timing. Why? Because the Orioles are playing the Nationals. We're going to go up there, and who knows, maybe we'll have some content on how we do on some of the tables at the same time. We're going to get some very damn good food, which we've already set up. We'll also document that as well, and we're going to talk some shop. So we'll be up at Charlestown Races. I think we're doing the show from 6 to 8, and actually, though, if we're feeling frisky with it, we're doing this so we can stay live during the game and have people watch along with us and talk about what's happening in this game, because we're going to be able to watch the game as we're still on. Obviously, we're not broadcasting, but we can react when you can go, well, damn, Ryan McKenna just hit his 3rd home run of the game. I can explain how it looked in my eyes. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That'll be really cool. I cannot wait. We got so many more things lined up with them in the future. For those that didn't know, also our friends at Adams Jeep of Maryland, we have some things lined up with them going up in Aberdeen. So maybe these ideas that we're talking about, Brad, of going up there, I think we're onto something here.
Yeah.
I think we're onto something. And then what else we got? Oh, yeah, we have 2 other sponsors. One we can't announce just yet, but the other one's Stuggies. If you have the crab mac and cheese dog, that's great. There's a difference between condiments and specialty dogs. Crab mac and cheese is not a condiment. What?
Boom. We just hit 9,000 subscribers.
All right.
Oh.
I'm standing
All right,
up.
so we're not getting off till we get to 10. Are you standing up, Brad, for applause?
For 9,000 subscribers, you guys are fucking amazing. I love every single one.
You guys are awesome.
Oh, great. It's
and
great.
then Victoria also gifted a membership as well.
Oh,
Thank you, Victoria.
Victoria, thank you. You've that's amazing. Amazing.
Listen, 9,000 is that's a lot of people. I know it still means that we're a small channel, but that is a lot of people. When you start to think about what 9,000 looks like, I mean that could fill up a couple of minor league stadiums.
Oh yeah. Oh sugar. The thing in general here is that I like to just the context of it. I think we're really building something special. We love that people love the Orioles, and we're going to continue to give you all that content. But we started this channel, Brad and I, really just trying to shoot the shit, see what was going to happen. And we've really been doing this now for 7 months consistently, doing twice a week for the Ryan Ripken Show. Now it's morphed into impromptus. You know, we caught a wild Zach Bollinger and Kevin Ostreicher along the way, and Rocco, a recurring guest as well. But we have so many different ideas coming, and we started during football season, got some great traction. And the fact that we're just starting this off, and the guys and ladies and gentlemen that all are believing what we're doing, it's fantastic. And again, we do this because we love it and we're passionate about it. But what drives this to the next level is the community. Community relationships drive everything. That's our motto here. And everything that we want to do is to continue to give you guys something that you hope to love and enjoy, even if it is at my expense, definitely at Kevin's, sometimes at Zach's. So thank you all. This is tremendous so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Rip, you missed a lot of things that were said about my eye over the past show. I've had just a million different reasons. It's been.
Was it because of me? Did people say that I did something to you?
Rocco.
Yeah, the toxic work environment was exposed.
All right, Charles has asked for a deal. Ryan, are you ready?
I'll get the 20K and I'll get the tattoo, but the show pays for it. I will pay. We will pay for it. That is a deal. That is a deal.
Without a doubt.
All right.
Without a
Maybe
doubt.
we'll go there for it too.
Yeah.
That's a part of the deal. We'll have to go there for it.
Yep. Oh, 100%. And then we just got another donation in. Kirsten Daly's asked if anybody's got $5 after he donated us $5. So thank you for that.
Love the Carson Daly.
They say if you just keep borrowing $5 from another person, it'll all pay itself off. So just keep borrowing. I'll borrow it. Oh.
Okay. All right. Oh, hold on.
Gur, baby. Very gur. Very gur. Kevin, what's that from?
Ice Age. The tiger.
Very good. You know what? Good guess.
Thank you. Wasn't for nothing.
Kevin, can I ask you a question and be honest?
Sure. What is your question?
Do I make you? What's it from? What's the movie?
Do I make you?
Horny. Baby.
Austin Powers.
Yes. Jeez,
When all else fails, just say Austin Powers and pray.
You might. Like the ones with me. Austin Powers, Wedding Crashers, Heavyweights.
Oh my God, Heavyweights. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Oh, I got the Perkis System tank top actually at home. I might put that. I'll put that on for the Holy Shirts and Pants. Not like I'll just show it. I'm not going to, model it. We'll save that for a different time. But yeah, that's all I got. Any other thoughts, guys? Are we feeling good? Are we?
Vibes are high.
Vibes are high.
Feel good.
Yeah. The pocket watch. I see that you said I feel like I'm late to the party after only a couple of weeks, but glad I made it. Yeah, damn right. We're glad you made it too, man. It's fun. We like to have a good time. You know, we believe that we're able to bring this component to it. And by the way, we also think we can bring on some pretty damn good guests. And we got, from breakdowns that we do of players to players talking about situations to just other great content creators and people all around and alike. I mean, we think we got a really good blend that we're growing here. And we like to get a little naughty at times. I'll be honest. I like to lead the brigade, and that's okay. I think we just try to show everyone we can have fun with what we're doing without feeling like we have a stick up our ass. Right, Kevin?
Yes.
Good. Just making sure. Okay. I might, if it's okay with you guys, I might get out of here because I'm not at home. We got a long day tomorrow. We got to get ready for our guests. We have some more things and fun that we'll talk about in the future as well. But is that okay? Am I free to sign off with you guys? I'm proud of you guys. You guys do a great job. I rag on you guys a lot, but great team. And for all those listening, this group that we have, really, it's 5 guys that are doing this, and we put a lot of time and effort in, and it's really special. So it's the only compliment. So take it or leave it, boys. But tremendous job.
Appreciate you, brother. Congrats on 9K. It's awesome.
Yes,
and
sir.
looking forward to, the next 90. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And also,
What
I
time
think people are
tomorrow?
talking about, time tomorrow. I think tip-off will probably be 6. Tip-off will probably be 6.
And then our special guest comes in at 6:30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Trust me, you're not going to miss it. You guys saw that we had Ryan O'Hearn. We've had all kinds of guys. Ryan O'Hearn recently. It's at that level. You know what I mean?
Gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. All right, guys, as always, for everyone out there, have a day, have a night. Hope you have a great stinking Sunday, and enjoy the rest of your Drinko de Mayo, and be safe. Above everything, be safe, and we'll talk soon. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, wait, where's the
Top right, top left.
is this
Or
one?
you have to scroll it back. Yep.
Oh, okay.
As always,
Got the broom out.
have a day, have a night. We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of the Ryan Ripken.